Hi everyone, Tori here with another Scrap Your Scraps video. This one is called A Whole Lot of Circles, and it's Sunday and I'm happy, and I hope that you are excited about this Scrap Your Scraps video too. So I'm using my whole bin of scraps here, which you've probably seen in some of my other Scrap Your Scrap videos. And then I got this brand new tool at Michael's that I wanted to use for the Scrap Your Scraps video. It's a circle cutter, and the way it works is there are different measurements, and then you stick this tool in and then you, I don't know, push it around and it makes circles. And I thought it would be sort of fun to go through my scrap bin and make a whole bunch of circles. So I'm just sort of guesstimating how large they should be, and I'm just using the tool to cut out all these circles, and I'm making some small, some larger, and they're all from about an inch to, I think the largest ones are like 4 inches wide. And the pink mat is a cutting mat, so that's why I had to put that down. And then one of the things I found while I was going was that if the paper was too small, it moved. So I ended up taping them down later in order to help me out. But it's pretty easy to just cut out these circles, and it's a great way to use up some of those bigger scraps that you have in your stash. And the tool is super easy to use. I think it comes from either We Are Memory Keepers or, nope, it's Martha Stewart. Yep, it's a Martha Stewart circle cutter. And I actually love it. It's lots of fun to play with and to just cut circles and circles out of your scraps. I know I've done other layouts with circles, like circle punches, but I thought it would be fun to show you a layout where I use circles of all different shapes and, well, not shapes because they're all circles, all different size circles. Oh man, it's 9 p.m. on Saturday, and I'm really hoping that this video will be able to get up in time for Sunday at 9, which is 12 hours from now. And I know a whole bunch of you will be wanting to see the video right then, so hopefully I can get it up by then. It's a pretty fun thing, or easy technique, to just cut out all these circles, and I'm gonna just speed it up so that you don't have to watch it for a really long time. I ended up cutting out probably 25 circles of different shapes, maybe more than that, maybe closer to 30, and I don't end up using them all, but it was fun cutting them out. And I ended up using the circles on some cards later, so I won't show you those here, but you'll see them in another video that I have coming up. But this is just a sort of fun way to use your scraps. And I mean, you could use any shapes. I'm using circles on this layout, but if you didn't have a circle cutter like this, or you don't like circles, you could cut out squares or triangles or whatever works for you. And then after I cut out all the circles, I thought it would be a good idea to just use some brown chalking ink and just ink all around all the edges. And the reason I did this is because some of the edges were a little, well, they were cut up, right? So they're looking white. And also I knew that when you layer all these different pattern papers on top of each other on a layout, it's a good idea to have something that sort of ties them together. And the brown chalking ink on the edges is the perfect way to like tie all of these different pattern papers together on the page. Once I was done with that, I grabbed this really pretty Dear Lizzy paper that I got in the pattern paper add-on this month. And what I'm going to do is, it's a pink paper, and then I'm going to place all of the circles on the page in a fun design, like going from one corner to the other. And I started with the biggest circles first, trying to lay those down. And I was trying to decide which patterns to add, and I liked the colors in that floral one there. So then I was trying to pick colors that would sort of go with that. And then I was trying to minimize the number of patterns, different patterns that I used. So there's not really any rhyme or reason to this. I just sort of layered them from the left to the right, or the right to the left, whichever way. And I started with the biggest circles, and then I layered the medium ones, and then I added the little small ones over top of it. And then this is the photo that I'm going to be using. It's an old family photo. It's actually a photo of me from when I was a little girl riding in this like water bumper car ride in England. And I actually don't remember when this photo was taken. I know that it was taken when I was really little because I look about 3 years old there. But I still wanted to scrapbook it, and I wanted to talk about something present. So the photo is past tense, but the journaling will be about moving forward in life now, like in my 20s. And it's sort of like a little letter to myself, like, little girl, you have no idea where you're going, and if only you knew, you'd be so excited, and so many big things are going to happen to you, is sort of the gist of the journaling. So I glued all of those circles down, layering them on top of each other with my hot glue gun, and then once I had the design, then I glued it down to the paper, and just making sure everything's adhered well. And then I will grab my scissors and just trim off any of the excess that is hanging off of the page. This paper was such a challenge to me because I loved the back side as well. I loved that super, like that chevron paper design, but I also really loved the pink, so it was hard for me to decide, but I ended up going with this pink paper. And then I stuck down my photo, and I wanted to add just a couple more circles just to overlap the photo a little bit. And then after that, I'm going to embellish the page. And then I wanted to use these stickers that came in the scrapbook, or in the Project Life Galileo kit. It was a subscriber special. And I wanted to use these yellow ones because I thought they would go really well with the papers that I've chosen on the page. The only problem is I don't have enough of them. So how I'm going to stretch them is I'm going to use the actual letter stickers, but I'm also going to cut out the edges around them, if that makes sense, like the edging on the packaging, and use the packaging edging too. Sorry if that's not the best way to explain it, but I'm sure you can see from what I'm doing. So, and it works well because by doing that I can stretch these letter stickers and I can use them for the title, but I can also use it for my long title and have enough letters and everything. So I just trim it with my scissors to get it just right around those edging parts, and then I am just putting down the title, and my title is Going Somewhere, and I'm putting going at the top and somewhere at the bottom. And what happened was I cut out all the letters and stuck them down, and then I realized that I didn't have enough space, so I had to sort of pick up all the letters from somewhere at the bottom and just move them over so that the whole word somewhere would fit. And then I add, after I stick those all down, I add a couple of question marks just underneath that, because it's more of like a question. And my journaling, like I said, is about how I had no idea where I would go and all the things that I would do and what life had in store for me. I was only 3, right? So, and now I'm just going to embellish, and I'm using some of these puffy stickers to embellish, and I'm going to use some enamel dots. And I'm basically sort of color matching to the color scheme here. And I like how the puffy stickers and the enamel dots are also circles, so it sort of keeps with that consistent circle trend. I also grabbed some more enamel dots from my stash because I wanted some more of different colors. And then I'm also going to add some buttons because they will be also circle. I ended up using a couple of these diamond stickers as well, just to add a little extra embellishment, but it's in the same color families. And here I'm just adding the buttons. I'm trying to figure out where I want them to go, and then I'll use my hot glue gun to stick them down. And while I do that, I just wanted to say thank you everyone so much for your awesome support with my Scrap Your Scraps videos. This is my 7th one, and I was really only planning on doing like 4, but I've had so much fun. And I really appreciate all your kind comments and how some of you, like over at the Nicole Jones 911 Facebook page, are so sweet. Like, stay up late just to watch my video, which is really, oh man, it warms my heart and it just means a lot to me. So thank you everyone for your kind comments. I hope you're having a lot of fun with this series and that you're finding new ways and creative ways to use your scrap papers. I am totally loving this series. I don't know what it is, but I find it like completely freeing to just use scraps and not have to cut into a brand new piece of paper. It's so nice to just be able to use little pieces and to layer paper and play with pattern paper, which is totally my favorite thing. What else have I added here? I added some flair and some more buttons, and I also added a couple resin flowers. And then I'm just going to add my journaling in the bottom. And that's it. The page is done. So thank you everyone for joining me for another Sunday Scrap Your Scraps video. Thank you for commenting, liking, and subscribing. If you have an idea or something you want me to try, leave me a comment below. And if you have made any Scrap Your Scraps videos, I'd love to see them. If you made any projects or cards based on something I've inspired you to do, link it up. And I would love to see it. Love you guys. Bye. Have a lovely day.